Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Nazir, page 19, which discusses a concept which we have seen elsewhere in other tractates such as Tanit. And it brings down a case where you have a wife that makes a vow saying that she wishes to become a Nazir. And she actually became impure, which is one of the things that she was supposed to be careful not to become impure. And then afterwards, her husband removed the vow, which the husband has the right to be able to annul or to remove a vow of his wife under certain parameters. Now, according to the opinion that when he annuls it, it actually works retroactively, meaning it's as though what she actually did is as though it never happened, like what she said didn't actually have any meaning. So normally when a person is impure as a Nazir, there's a requirement to bring various offerings. To bring a bird offering, which is for a sin, called a chatas ha'ov, and also an elevation offering, which is also a bird, called an olas ha'ov. So we said that she does not bring the elevation offering, and that's not something in which is done, which perhaps could show that an elevation offering in this case is not like a gift, because if it was, then why couldn't she just simply bring it? And we also say that she still again has to bring the sin offering. The question is why? Either way you look at it, if you say that in fact what he did works retroactively, so then she didn't do anything wrong. It's like what she said doesn't have any meaning. So why, in fact, would she have to bring a sin offering when she did not become impure as a Nazir because it was already removed? So that's the question that the Talmud grapples over, and it gives the famous answer that we've said before, that when it comes to a person who is a Nazir in general, the reason why they bring a sin offering is not because they became impure necessarily. It could also just because they became a Nazir. So that's hard to understand, because we understand a sin offering is because you did a sin, you did something wrong. But in this case, when you're a Nazir, not only are you not breaking any of the Torah laws, you're doing more than's required. On this, we find the famous words of Eliezer HaKafar. He says that the reality is this is against Jewish philosophy. Jewish philosophy is not for you to take upon yourself so many extra restrictions, such as separating yourself from wine. The reality is that is a law. If you're a Nazir, you're not allowed to drink wine. But the Torah, God does not want you to do that. That's actually not something which is really recommended. In fact, you actually would have to bring a sin offering for that. Well, what's the sin? The sin is because you misunderstand that the purpose of us being in this world is not to separate ourselves from everything. Because why would God have given us all the beautiful things around us but to enjoy them? And therefore, God gave us wine so that we should be able to enjoy it in moderation. Now, of course, there are certain things which are totally detrimental that are in this world. Poison, or, of course, I'm not comparing this to poison, but let's say foods which are non-kosher, like pork. And the reason is that we know the level of appreciation of something is when there are parameters. If you can have anything all the time, then it loses its value. When you have something only once in a while, it becomes exciting. It's something which is special. So the fact that there's certain foods that are not allowed, like pork, it's not to deprive us, but rather for us to be able to appreciate all the other things that we are allowed to have. And the things that we are allowed to have, we shouldn't say, no, don't do them. Because the purpose of this world, again, is not to separate ourselves from it, but for us to be able to enjoy it. Ultimately, it's to be able to take that cup of wine and to sanctify it, to take the mundane and to be able to somehow elevate it to a different level. But for a person just to ignore it completely, this we find is considered to be a sin.